Hello and welcome to this new video in the SQL content. In this video, we will learn about two new keywords, union and union all. For this, I'm going to use one of our earlier table that we created in the joins section. When we saw the self join, we created a table called TBL EMPs. Now, either you can use the same table if you have created it already, or you can create any other table. As long as you understand this concept, that's all right. So let's run this. And here we have about 10 rows. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a copy of this because for union and union all, we need two tables of almost the same structure you can call it right now. So quickly, I'll say select star into TBLEMPs2 from this. Okay, fine. So now we have these two tables and both are identical as of now. All right. Okay. 10 rows in each one of them. So what is a union operation? A union operation is nothing but wherein it combines rows together from two tables. However, there are prerequisites for this. The first thing I'll show you is directly the union keyword. So you add the union keyword after the first select statement. Not necessary that you write this in multiple lines. You can write it in a single line also. And then you select this and now you get some output. However, now I don't see the result what I was expecting because I said that it combines the rows from both the tables. However, I was expecting 20 rows over here. I've got only 10. So I'll copy paste this and there is another keyword called as union with all. Let's run this one. And now in this time, I do see that the number of rows are 20. Now these are the first 10 rows and the below ones are the 10 rows from the second table. So this is the difference between union and union all. Both union and union all, they combine rows from two tables. However, union, what it does is it removes the duplicates, which means the entire row, if it's a duplicate row, it will remove that. Now, since we created the table 2 from the table 1, which was just a same copy of it, hence all the rows were duplicate. So it will only keep the 10 rows and remove the 10 other rows which were duplicate. If you want to preserve them, if you don't want to remove the duplicates, you will go with union all. So you have to be very specific in this scenario, what you want. If you think that yes, your rows or data sets can have duplicate rows and you want to preserve them, go with union all. If you want to remove them, you will go with union. However, if you're sure that there are no duplicates, it is always advisable that you use union all, because union is not performant as compared to union all, because there is that extra step of removing the duplicates. All right. Now, there are some prerequisites for union and union all. So the first prerequisite is that both the tables participating in the union should have the same number of columns. So if the above table has 5 columns, this should also have 5. The above has 10, this should also have 10. What in case if the column numbers are not the same? The number of columns. We have a solution for that also, which I'll come to that. The second is we are assuming that the sequence of column in both the tables is the same. So if I have the sequence which is EMP-ID, employee ID, parent employee ID, employee name, title, salary, I'm assuming that my sequence in the other table is the same. If the sequence is not the same, then what you do? You can rearrange your sequence in this way, either union or whatever you wanted. So you can say employee ID, employee name, then we can say city, or what was it? I think department. Let me confirm the column names. We had title and let's say salary. All right. I'm skipping the other column. So at times, this is also a scenario that you don't want to do union of all the columns. You want only specific columns. So this is how you do. And let us assume that the sequence was not the same in both the tables. So all you have to do is just write the sequence in the select statement. So it will extract those columns in the order and then do the same for the below ones also. All right. The column names need not be the same, but their data types have to match. So if this is integer, this should be integer. If this is varchar, this should be varchar. Otherwise, there can be conversion errors. All right. So the prerequisites that we have understood until now is the number of columns should be the same. If those are not same, then you only select those columns. That is one solution. Only select those columns which are there in both the tables. The column names need not be the same, but the data types have to match. What in case if the column numbers or the number of columns are not matching? Let us assume that there was no title column in this. So what you can do is you can just pass a null over there. That is a solution. For right now, there is no title column. So you can pass a null over there. And now since you're passing null, the column header has disappeared. You can say null as title. Simple. All right. It is quite possible that earlier, maybe when, let's say you have two different sets of tables, one for maybe 2020, one for 2021. Earlier, you were not capturing some column. Later on, a column was added in another table, and now you want to make a union. So that can be a scenario. So you can just keep it null and then bypass it. All right. So this is the prerequisite. Now, furthermore things that you have to understand is, now we have already seen union will remove the duplicates. Okay. And it also sorts the data by the first column. Whereas union all will not remove duplicates and also not sort the data. That's why you see 1 to 10 over here and then 1 to 10 again over here. Our employees table was already sorted or the data was entered in that fashion, but maybe you can enter random data and check for yourself. For sure, you will see the result of union is always sorted. Union all is just append only, which means just to add the rows to the existing table below the existing table. That's the append operation, the way how we do in insert. So this is about union and union all in nutshell. That's it in this video. See you in the next one.